Oh my goodness. There was supposed to be a trailer that played before, but I don't know if that worked. But welcome, Jen. Oh my gosh, finally. This is your... I had a feeling you were an Aquarius. I was trying to remember. I was like, maybe it's a strong placement, but that makes so much sense. So welcome those Aquarius bibes who are here. This is intended for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, or those that have strong Aquarius placements. We are doing a July predictions reading, and we're going to basically have a look at the overall themes that are happening for your sign in July, and then we'll get some specific predictions in your love, your life in general, and for your finances as well. So before we get into it, I'm just going to go ahead and set my intentions as your reader. I highly recommend you set your intentions as the viewer and consider signs of confirmation that you may need to see or hear to claim this reading and confirm that it is for you. With that being said, let's open your reading. Spirit, please tune me into Aquarius's energy. Please help me channel clear, honest messages for Aquarius about July. Thank you, Spirit. I think stars could be significant for you. Let's see what comes out. It may be on the cards. Spirit, what is the overall theme for Aquarius in the month of July? What is the overall theme for Aquarius in the month of July? That's so funny too, Jen. I have the same thing with Capricorn in my chart. I've got so much Capricorn in my chart. Literally Sun, Mercury. It used to be Jupiter, but I found out I got the degrees wrong. So I'm actually a Sagittarius Jupiter. Mars as well as Capricorn. And I think Uranus is Capricorn as well. Crazy. So we've got two cards for you, Aquarius. I think you're my only sign that's got two cards. Interesting. At the back of the deck is the King of Wands. I'm trying not to like compliment this. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome. I'm trying not to complicate this reading, but the King of Wands is important for some reason, so I'll wait to see how that comes back. Your overall themes for July is very watery. There's a strong emotional shift here. And these two cards, it's like you're trying to be, I want to say, discerning about other people's intentions, what their motivations might be, and how that could disrupt your heart. Because it feels like you're trying to stay true to some sort of vision that you have for yourself and how you want July to turn out, but you're worried that other people might change their feelings or might use their feelings to change your mind and to pull you back. So with this Knight of Cups, with the King of Wands, feels like you're almost anticipating redirection. You're anticipating someone else to do something that's going to pull at your heartstrings or that's going to throw you off track. And so you might be approaching July and specific people around you with a lot of discernment and with an emotional barrier where you're trying to guard yourself and protect yourself. Let's put your card over there. Is that even in frame? Might have to get bigger for you. And let's get some more cards out. Okay. Spirit, what can Aquarius expect when it comes to love in July? Goodness. What can this Aquarius expect when it comes to love in July, please, Spirit? Oh, wow. Straight away, we have fixed. What can Aquarius expect when it comes to life in general? What are we focusing on here for July, Spirit? What does Aquarius need to know? We have T-square. And what does Aquarius need to know about their finances? Oh, wow. Why are so many cards? Oh my gosh. Okay. At the back of this deck is air. So I do like that. I think you're always, any air sign is always experiencing some sort of, I want to say it's like a power, but it feels like empowerment. It feels like it's more true to your nature, but it can also feel like you're dipping into old patterns of behavior that are really comfortable, that help protect you and help you feel like you're in control. So it depends on where your Libra, oh my gosh, maybe some of you have Libra placements. Depends on where your Aquarius placements are, but it feels like you're trying to just do what feels right for you. Now, I'm going to put the 6th house reversed for finances, but we'll see what Tarot has to say about that because it was showing up as more of a blockage. I think that when it comes to finances, with Pisces and the 6th house here, there is an overall feeling of coming to terms with something here. Like your money is encouraging you to wrap up something. Like your heart needs to just, I'm hearing, get the memo. So maybe work is not something you're enjoying. You're feeling called elsewhere. It's like you're just having to, again, come to terms with it. It's just work. Just get it done. Get the job done. But when it comes to money, there is a desire here to spend your money on more emotionally fulfilling experiences, whether that means it's not a big deal, it's just something that you want to do now, or it has to do with you seeking and spending money on an experience that feels like a soul experience, that's something that really makes your spirit happy. But the way that you're making money, it feels very just transactional. You're just showing up, you're doing the job, but your soul wants more. So if that's the case, you're trying to make up for that in other ways. If you love what you're doing, this may not be much of a problem. The only problem could be, I love what I do, but it's not paying the bills. But it just feels like there's a practical conflict with our finances and our spirit is having to just put up with it. We're just having to deal with it. So when it comes to life, for the T-square card to be here reversed, I do like this. I think that you're trying to de-escalate tension in your life in general. I think that your lifestyle in July may involve you trying to be more easygoing, trying to blow off steam, trying to make time for activities and experiences that help you feel like you're, again, blowing off steam, releasing tension, that are less stressful, but they also could be around a lot of people. Does that make sense? So you may be preparing yourself for an event that you want to go to, but you just don't want to be around all those people. But your life in general is about trying to relieve tension in July. You're setting your lifestyle up and any of your free time up to relieve tension, to give you plenty of outlets, and to also try to, I'm hearing, even reduce conflict. I don't know if there's conflict between you and someone else, or if you have the chance to bring a larger group of people together who may have been having conflict, but it just feels like we're choosing peace here. We're literally just trying to, and that's where Aquarius placements are really handy, because you can bring in a lot of different people. You can help lots of different people come in together. Sorry, I just saw it cut out for a second, but hopefully that's not a big deal. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. With this fixed energy here in your love life, I do think that there's an element here of letting go, because we're trying not to resist. We're trying not to force something to happen, but it feels uncomfortable because you're a fixed sign, Aquarius. So it almost feels like you've been forced to do this. And you're like, well, I don't like to be forced, so I'm just going to let go. And that's why it doesn't feel right. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on. We're going to talk about that first, actually. So let's leave that there. and we'll move these cards to the side. What is happening in Aquarius's love life in July? Oh, Jen, that makes so much sense. Goodness. That's so interesting. I wonder if that's a phenomenon. I love hearing about people's charts and just how placements interact with each other, but I've heard of a few people having Aquarius and Pisces placements that seem to really bounce off each other in their charts. Like, it's not always a comfortable interaction. It feels like the Aquarius side just wants to be successful or wants to be able to stick to a path, whereas the Pisces side wants to kind of experiment and experience, and it just, yeah, it always seems to be an interesting dynamic. Spirit, what is going on with Aquarius's love life in July? We have the King of Wands. This King of Wands has kind of been obsessed with the readings today. Like, it just keeps coming back. So interesting. What else can you tell us about Aquarius's love life? We have Justice, Libra. Wow. And we also have the Knight of Swords. The back of the deck is that Knight of Cups again. Do we trust them is the question. Why does it feel like you're not trusting this energy? Now, I got to read for the fact that, you know, some of y'all are single, some of you are in interesting, like, situationships. And I use interesting very lightly because it might not feel interesting at all. And then obviously there's people in relationships. So when we see this Knight of Cups as your bottom deck energy, July is very much about intention. You are questioning the intentions of people, and you are seeking genuine intentions. You're seeking genuine people with genuine intentions, with genuine hearts, and that is very Aquarius of you. You want someone to just be real. Just be real. Don't pretend. Don't, you know, if you aren't looking for anything serious, just be honest about it. If you aren't able to follow through, just be honest about it. Like, don't pretend, just be genuine. And so there is this feeling of you also having that energy. And I do think that a lot of you are going to be attracting, if they're not in your life already, some sort of interaction with someone where you're having to figure out, use your discernment to go, is this person being genuine with me? Are they serious about what they say? Do these temporary gestures, are they going to be more consistent? Because there does feel like in July, there's like a gesture, a romantic gesture being made towards you. And then with the King of Wands, you're going, well, hang on a minute, this is unexpected. This wasn't a part of the plan. This is out of character. I don't know if I can trust this. So I see the King of Wands as a strong amount of passion and desire. So this could be someone you're very attracted to, someone who physically ticks a lot of boxes, or who you just feel that natural spark with. But there's also this almost preconditioned way of seeing them as being inconsistent, or they just have their energy invested in other things. So I do think that when it comes to you, this King of Wands is about you looking at your love life with skepticism, and also being a little bit shocked by what you are attracting and by what's happening, which is crazy because your sign to me represents the element of surprise. Yes, we have spontaneous Sagittarius, but Aquarius energy is a genuine surprise. It's a, oh wow, like I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know that was possible. It's like a very much, so I think it's an irony where you don't like to be surprised yourself. You want to be the one doing the surprises. So what's happening here is this is not what you expected. This doesn't feel like it's a part of your plan. And there's this stubbornness to deny it, to even push it away, and to kind of make something else happen instead. So I do think that love is about you trying to figure out what's real. It's about you trying to figure out whether you can trust someone who's showing you a romantic gesture in July. And it's also about you maybe putting them to the test with justice to see how they kind of are able to, how consistent they're able to be. But justice is not really about consistency, it's about integrity. So you're trying to take someone's word, but you're also trying to maintain your own respect and integrity. And so ultimately it could go either way for you, depending on this person's actions. They're the ones that are the anomaly, because I'm reading for you. Your free will is determined to maintain integrity, is determined to do the right thing by yourself and whoever else is involved. But you're also determined to hold other people accountable and to say, well, hang on a minute, you know, how can you show up as a king and act like you're not? Your actions have to match your energy. And this person's actions just don't match their energy. Their energy is not reliable. So I do think with the Knight of Swords here, any little thing that they do puts you back into, I told you so, I knew it. So just be careful with that, because it's that classic feeling of like, did we predict it or did we create it? You know what I mean? Where we put so much pressure on something to be a certain way, where it's like, well, if we didn't, I wonder if it would have happened. But regardless, this is a classic case with the Knight of Swords of ultimately trusting your instincts. Trusting your instincts, because you're showing up as someone that knows enough about this interaction, whether it's because you know enough about this person or you just know enough about these kinds of circumstances and behavior like that, like this, where people act like this. But you know enough, you're wise enough to be able to trust your instincts in this situation. So I do see you choosing freedom, if I'm honest. Like, I think that you're likely to be chased in some cases, but I see you also running away. And I do see you choosing to just, I want to say be the bigger person, but it's also about trying to do the right thing by yourself and trying to restore balance in your love life. Again, maintaining integrity and calling people out and saying like, look, you have to also have integrity. So whoever's coming towards you in July, and look, we have 3 court cards. So Aquarius, you could have 3 different people who are interested, but the energies come down to, are you being genuine? Is this something I can trust? And if not, I need to stay true to what I know I want with this 7 of Cups. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm not going to follow the illusion, the ideas. I'm not going to romanticize the false realities of people. I'm going to let people show me who they are. And I'm going to make sure I don't lose my head in the process. So trusting your instincts is the biggest theme here, and making sure that the people that you're interacting with are genuine. They don't have to want the same thing as you, but you just don't want them to lie to you. Like, just be straight up about it so that I know what I'm getting myself into. So that's what's coming through for your love life. Crazy. I honestly see you again in your power. Like, that's a very strong stance to take, and it takes a lot of not just integrity, like it's taking a lot of stamina, because I just can't believe that this King of Wands has the audacity to show up reversed and say, isn't this good enough? Like, no, sir. We know you're the King of Wands. What? And the Knight of Swords reversed? Like, I don't know. It's just, I got to be careful about caring too much. I'm just supposed to be objective in this. But anyway, thank you so much for your feedback, Jen and Aquakiss. I was reading as I was going, but I love to just stay into the channel. I don't like to lose that connection once I'm in there. So I was trying to keep track, but I'm glad that those messages were helpful. Let's have a look at what's happening in your life in general now. Slowly working our way to finances as well. But your love life seems like a main event, if I'm honest. Like, I don't really know what else we're gonna be. What else is gonna be your focus? We'll see. Spirit, what can you tell us about Aquarius's life in general? Okay, we do have cards coming out. I shuffled some back in because I hadn't set that intention yet, but we're gonna take that card. What can you tell us about Aquarius's? And we'll take these two. We got another king. We have the King of Swords this time, and we have your Seven of Cups again. Crazy. So there we see the Seven of Cups, staying true to what you want, following your heart, not getting distracted, right in the middle of the spread too. At the back of the deck is the Four of Cups. So July is about you making sure that you're not missing out. So you're trying to make the most out of opportunities that come your way, social invitations, when people are saying, hey Aquarius, would you go to this? Would you come here? Would you, you're actually going, yeah, actually, I would. And this is helping you get out of your bubble when it comes to your own little emotional bubble. It is helping you distract yourself a little bit. And it's also helping you get out of a mood, if that resonates. Like, you may be trying to just be more bubbly and have more fun and just get out of kind of your nest. But I do think with the Four of Cups reversed, this is about saying yes to social invitations. And this is also about making the most out of experiences based off of how they make you feel. So connecting with your inner child is especially important in July, making sure that you have enough time to enjoy yourself as well as rest, work, handle your responsibilities. It is about lifestyle balance, and you may be spending less time on the serious stuff in July and just trying to embrace more, again, fun, joy. But I do see with the Two of Pentacles reversed, there's a lot that's up in the air. So when it comes to your lifestyle, there may be a few plans, but it just feels like July is up in the air. There's some changes here, temporary changes to your routine, some last minute things that pop up, also last minute cancellations where you're just playing it by ear. And then on the day you go, look, I really wanted to go, but I'm actually just really tired and I need to rest. So flexibility seems to be your friend when it comes to your lifestyle in July, and having the option to say yes and to cancel and just being tentative about your availability is also important. The Two of Pentacles reversed does say that you have a few things going on at once. So you may be trying to accomplish some things in July, just, even just around the house, or there could be some sort of project and you're hoping to finish it in July, but you're just sort of playing everything else by ear. It all has to kind of fit around certain commitments that you've made, certain responsibilities, and then you want flexibility as well, is how this feels. So that's where we see that relief. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves in July. T-square reversed, we're not trying to make this more complicated than necessary. And that's why if it feels like it's too much, if you say yes to something and then that invitation starts to feel like it's turning into more and more and more, you're allowed to go, well, hang on a minute. I thought I was just showing up for a couple of drinks. I didn't realize I'd be co-planning this whole event. So it is about minimizing your stress and just trying to blow off some steam, have flexibility, which is why I think we have that Seven of Cups in the middle. Your lifestyle in July is about having choices, even though you know in your heart you don't want all those choices. You know what you want, but you want to feel like you have options. So I do think that you're going to entertain multiple options. People might say, hey, what are you doing? Depending on where you're at, I know that in the Northern Hemisphere, July is like summer. So that turn of seasons is usually like a lot more social stuff happening. In the Southern Hemisphere, depending on like schooling and everything, there are still holiday breaks in July. So that could be what this is. But it just feels like you want to feel like you have options, even though you know what it is that you want to do. Now, when it comes to family and friends, I do see a lot of people around you, but I also see you having that time for yourself as well. Like, yes, there's people around you, but you're going to be more at peace if you create more time for yourself. So yes, there are people that you need to see maybe, or people who you could see in one big group so you can tick them all off at once. But I also think that it's important that you have that time for yourself. And it's really the King of Swords, as well as your Aquarius energy up here, that is making me think that. There's a lot of stuff that you need to process. And it's not about the emotional aspect, it's about the mental aspect. July is about you shedding layers of thought and having, yes, some beautiful, fun distractions, but you also need some time to genuinely process like what happened and come to some sort of understanding mentally on where you stand so that you can figure out how you want to move forward. And if you're not careful, it could feel like you're just running away from these things and getting wrapped up in other people's narratives in July, which I don't think is very likely unless Aquarius isn't your dominant sign. But it just feels like things could very quickly snowball and then you're not giving yourself time to actually think about what has happened in this year so far. So with the King of Swords reversed, your lifestyle feels like something that has this push and pull towards your headspace, where at times it's a helpful distraction and at other times it's making you want more time alone, more time to clear your head, more time to kind of get away from everything and everyone. So I do feel like you'll know when you need that, especially because it feels like you're just withdrawing anyway. So like, why bother continue to hang around other people if you're just going to withdraw anyway? Just give yourself that time to check out and not have to worry about what you're doing and saying around other people. Just be yourself. So, and that's ultimately the energy in your love life as well, as you want that genuine connection. So you've got to have that with yourself as well. So is there anything else they need to know about the King of Swords relevant to their life? Yeah, it is a lifestyle in July, and it is just about taking it in your stride, not committing to too much, not overdoing it. Just, you know, if you need to cancel or reschedule, take rain checks, play it by ear, see how you feel, and have enough time to rest. Maybe even go somewhere high where you can clear your head as well with this King of Swords. But that's really what I'm seeing. We're going to move forward and have a look at your finances to wrap this up. Where was, oh yes, these two cards. That's right. Pisces and the 6th house. Spirit, what is happening with Aquarius's finances in July? Thank you guys. I just read the comments. Thank you so much, Aquacus and Jen. There's definitely a channel. Like, sometimes it feels like I'm reaching, and this time it's like, oh my God, I'm drowning in information. So what is happening here, Spirit, with Aquarius's finances in July? This is interesting. 10 of Cups. There's that emotional pull. Temperance. Oops. And we also have Death, which is, the author of this deck wants you to see it as rebirth more than death, which I really like, but it's very telling of who created this. She's definitely the optimist. So with the High Priestess at the back of this deck, there's that Pisces energy coming back. We have Scorpio and Sagittarius as well. I would say the 10 of Cups is a blend of Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. A lot of people, I think, read that as Cancer, but it just feels like all three signs. So I do think when it comes to your finances, we see that emotional pull in the tarot as well. 3 out of 4 of these cards have that watery energy that we saw in the beginning, and then with your finances, there's that emotional pull. We can see the spiritual pull now with the High Priestess and Pisces here. It's like your soul is trying to guide you in July towards making decisions that are going to be soul gratifying, whether it's about how you make money or how you spend money. You are being pulled into some sort of direction where you have to make a choice. Do I go left or do I go right? And I think that you have time to figure this out. You don't have to have it all figured out in July, but July is about trying to figure it out, trying to understand where your journey is taking you and what this means for how you're making money and how you're spending money. So your finances feel like a very intuitive space with a lot of unknowns, a lot of open possibilities, and a crossroads where your path is forking. So with the 6th house here, this is the material constraints. We can't just exist in the unknown. We have material obligations as well, responsibilities, debt. We need money to feed ourselves in most cases, and the societies that we most of us operate in require an income, a stable income. So these are the material constraints. While your soul seems to be wanting more, we are also having to figure out or stay true to the things that we enjoy doing. So with the 10 of Cups here, honestly, your finances are saying there's a huge emotional fulfillment towards the way that you make money and spend money that motivates you to keep going even when it's hard, whether that's because you have children of your own or whether that's because of what you do with your money or how you make money, and it being very emotionally rewarding. So it just feels like the why is what keeps you going. But what we're seeing here is a culmination feeling of, have we reached the end of a chapter, or do we try to enjoy this for as long as we can? I do see the 10 of Cups as, yes, it's a 10, it's the end, but it's not forcing us to finish things quickly. It's allowing us to enjoy that feeling. We can just enjoy the wholesome feelings of the 10 of Cups. We're not being sort of pressured to start the next thing or move on. So I think that's what you're having to figure out. There's this beautiful feeling of like something coming to an end in July, but at the same time, it's your why. Like, it's also a motivator to push through these financial obligations that you have to work. So with Temperance here, July again in your finances feels like letting out a lot of steam, letting off a lot of steam, and just trying to make sure that you're not burning out, that you're recharging, and that you're co-creating with the universe by knowing when to give yourself time off, versus knowing when to really put your head down and work. So I do see you taking time off in July with the 6th house reverse. It's like taking time away from work within reason, because you still have to pay your bills. But I think with Temperance being here in the middle, there's this strong feeling of trying to make a balance to it all, trying to figure out a better balance. And that could mean staying open towards some pretty big lifestyle changes so that you're not overdoing it. I do think that your soul is calling you into like new paths. Look, we have a path here, and behind the High Priestess we see this portal opening up. There's also a portal in death, and Temperance just feels like a guiding light, a guiding angel almost, that is making you very aware of your energy, your capacity, your energetic boundaries, and your creative interests. And for some reason, you're just not getting the gratification in the work that you do anymore. It's just not feeling completely soul gratifying. So with death here, this is leading towards a rebirth, but I just don't know if it's going to happen in July. It's encouraging you to sort out your emotions first, to figure out how you feel about this change before you really commit to it. That's what it feels like. When it comes to your money, this death card indicates this kind of change would be very big, and I just don't know if you're completely ready for it. But with these two cards here, if it's something you've been thinking about for a while, July could be the time to really take it more seriously, because there's a lot of transformation here and there is a level-headedness to your energy overall. But I do think that this death card is you being aware of the cycle and how this isn't the first time and it's not going to be the last time that you feel this way. But does that mean that it is the time to do something about it? I just don't know. That's for you to figure out with this High Priestess. You have to know within your soul, within your heart, and also with those practical restraints, is it the right time to make some big changes to our finances? So that's what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. I'm going to have to end your reading there. I hope that was helpful. It feels very frustrating for me as a reader to just leave that on you, but I hope that you're able to just give yourself plenty of time in July to tune in, to really think and feel what you need to do and whether this is the time to make that big decision. Thank you so much for all of your energy, your time, and your support. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to connect with you. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Thank you so much, Aquarius and Jen, for interacting. Until I see you guys again, bye.